The one time in my life that I wished that I could walk was the day that my daughter almost drowned. My family and I, we were at a lake. I could not get in the water because I had an injury on my toe, an open wound. So I sat there and I was watching my children play. My boys are older and they know how to swim, and they were, doing their own thing out in the deep water, playing, just doing whatever. And my youngest, she is 5, and she doesn't know how to swim. Um, and I've always told her, stay out of deep water. We've been to that place before. She has always been very cautious about going out into the deep water above her head. At this place, there's like a beach area full of sand that you have to like go down a hill, a sandy hill, to get to the water. I was maybe, I'm gonna say 10 to 15 feet away from the water, and I look over and I notice that my little girl's head was it looked like it was underwater, just kind of like floating with the waves. But she was like standing up. I could still see her. Like I could see her full body. She wasn't, the water was clear. And what I really, really wanted to do was I wanted to jump up out of my wheelchair and I wanted to run down there to her and grab her out. But reason told me that there's no way that I could get to her in time. That, I could not crawl fast enough. I could not roll fast enough. There's no way that I could get to her in time. And the only thing that I could think to do was to start screaming my head off and yelling for my boys and pointing to their sister. Well, they realize that they don't see her, and they hear me screaming and freaking out and pointing. And so immediately they start swimming to where I'm pointing. My oldest one gets there first, and he had to yank her up out of the water. Like he said, he had to pull her hard. And what had happened was she was not out over her head. Her feet had sunken down into the sand, pulling her under, making her head go underwater. And her floaty wasn't holding her up for some reason. I think it had a hole and wasn't holding air, and I didn't know at the time because, she was playing just fine before until she wasn't. So he had to yank her up pretty hard to get her up out of the sand. And he had to smack her on the back to make her cough up a bunch of water because she was not breathing whenever he pulled her up. Thankfully, he knows CPR. They train it to him in school, which I think CPR and Heimlich maneuver should be mandatory for all people to learn in school, in high school, the way that he did. But she coughed up a bunch of water, and she started immediately crying and wanting her mom. And then it was so sad because she was just like, "Mommy, why didn't you save me? Why didn't you get me out of the water?" And as a parent, I felt so terrible that I was not the one to be able to pull her up out of that water. And to this day, she is still terrified of water. Like, she refuses to let anybody teach her how to swim because she won't relax and learn how to float, which is completely understandable. I mean, I would I would probably be the same way. But yeah, I mean, I've Like I've said before, I've lived a happy, relatively healthy life, and I have never had the desire or want to get up and walk up until that point. Um, as always, thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And most importantly, don't forget to love like Jesus. Thank you.